and welcome back to my channel. My name is Joanna Ruminska and I'm a fashion and portrait photographer. In today's video we will be looking back at some of my old photography. We will be looking back at year 2013 to 2015, and while we do that I will be also giving myself a little bit critiques, and I will basically be telling my past self on ways how I could have improved my work back then. So let's start. So this picture that you have on the screen right now, it's a picture from 2013. I've taken this back in Poland. I used to go Poland quite a lot for summer holidays, and the first thing that I'm gonna say about this picture that I don't like is that it was taken in JPEG. It wasn't taken in RAW, it was taken in JPEG, and that's a no unfortunately. So okay, that's a first critique. Another thing that I don't like about this picture is the smoke. I wish maybe the smoke would be the person who was holding the smoke could have been moving the smoke on the side, so it doesn't look like it's just coming from one corner, but it's actually coming from, you know, the whole left side of the picture. So that's one. Another thing that I can see is that the picture is actually not sharp. So if you look at her face is actually blurry. So that's another thing that I would change about this picture. Now there's good things. Like, I love this picture. This is one of my favorite pictures still. I like the pose. I like the colors. I really like the colors. But I think maybe the smoke bombs didn't really match the theme here. Maybe if there were only one color, maybe blue color instead of pink and blue, but otherwise, yeah, I really like this picture. Next picture we have is, this picture has been actually approved in Photo Vogue. So I have this picture as well with a Vogue logo on the side. I really like this picture. I like this black and white. I kind of wanted to have this old look, and yeah, I really like this picture. It kind of shows emotions and stuff. So the thing that I don't like about this picture is, again, her face is not too sharp. I think the sharpness has actually gone onto the hair instead of her face or her clothes, actually. From what I can say to you guys, back in 2013 I wasn't really focusing on the sharpness. So yeah, past Joanna, I'm disappointed in you. Next picture, and this picture has been taken in Poland as well in the summertime. I love this picture actually. Maybe I would change the model's pose. I think maybe instead, like, I think the hand that holds the hat looks alright, but I think the hand that's just sticking like that is quite, I don't know, kind of feels like it's just awkward, you know, kind of position. Another thing that I see and I don't like is that the model is wearing some sort of bands on her hands, so it's kind of clashing with the whole picture, because obviously she's wearing summer clothes and then this is quite dark. The thing is, back then I didn't really look at stuff like this, so if a model had a hairband on her wrist, yeah, I wasn't really looking back then at that stuff. I think what I would mostly change about this is the pose and the bands that she has on her wrist. Other than that, I like the picture. But another thing I'm seeing now on the right side of the picture, go rubbish there on the side, so maybe retouch that out. Okay, let's close up on her face and see if the sharpness is there. I mean, this picture was taken from, like, this is a full body picture, so obviously the quality looks a bit different. Another thing, I've taken this with JPEG instead of RAW, so you can see that I actually haven't really retouched her face. There is still some spots and stuff on her face. Yeah, Joanna, I'm not happy with what you've done. No. But other than that, I really like this picture. The only thing is that in 2013 I wasn't really telling models how to pose. You know, I was starting out, so I didn't really know how to direct models. Whereas now I always try to let them know if something looks good or something looks bad, or if I need them to you know, relax the shoulders or hold their heads higher. Yeah, where in 2013 I was just expecting models to pose instead of helping them out. If I did the same shoot again, I think my editing would be totally different compared to back then. I think I really liked having just some random colors in the background, like here you have like blue leaves. Although I don't know, for some reason I really like it here. I think it goes quite well. So next picture, again from 2013, and again taken in JPEG instead of RAW. So that's another one, that thing. I love the pose here. I think the pose is quite cool, like kind of editorial pose. I don't like that the picture is actually not in focus. Looks like the focus is on one of her shoes instead of on her face. So again, I don't really like this edit. I think it is a bit too yellow. So yeah, just kind of it's yellow and kind of, I don't know, just looks like the editing I would definitely change. Yeah, I would change the edit of this picture. And obviously focus, Joanna, focus, focus, focus. The most important bit, focus. So when I take pictures now, I always aim the focus point on the model's eye, because that's what will make the whole face sharp. So guys, remember this. If you see your pictures blurry like this, that means you're focusing on the wrong part. Like you see here, instead of focusing on the model's face, I focused the picture on her shoe. Next picture. So this was actually taken in London, and I think this must have been taken in April or something like this, so when the flowers start blooming. I really like this portrait, but straight away when you look at it, you can see her face. And her face, I don't know what this retouching is. It's just blurred out. So her face is just totally blurred out. So that would be definitely what I would say to myself to work on. But again, these pictures were taken in JPEG, so disappointed with myself right now when looking back, but obviously we learn from mistakes. Now I know that when you take pictures, you always take them in RAW. But other than that, I really like this picture. I don't think I would change anything else. Maybe I feel like her shoulder is a bit, you know, tense, so maybe just relax her shoulders, maybe bring her hands up or something like that. But other than that, I like this picture. So moving on to 2014, this is the first picture, and I really like this picture. It really reminds me of summer. Even if you look at this picture, it kind of looks exotic, even though it was taken back in Poland. The background, the bushes, they kind of look exotic. Zooming in, we can see the improvement. Her face is actually sharp in this picture. The problem that I see here is the hair, you know, like the strand of hair just like on her face. So if obviously I stopped and told the model just to move the hair out of her face. Another thing that I don't like about this picture is there's so much space above her head, like just white background. So either re-edit this in a different way or just cut it down, so make it a bit more of a close-up picture. So these pictures were actually taken in RAW. So in 2014 I was actually started taking pictures in RAW. I think I actually started taking pictures in RAW by the end of 2013, but definitely I know that 2014 pictures that I've taken were in a RAW format. Yeah, as you can see, the retouching still was non-existent. You can see there is a bruise on her arm, so definitely I would have got rid of that now. But other than that, I really like this picture. I really like that her face is sharp, her eyes are sharp, you know, so that's an improvement, so well done to me from 2014. You actually did improve a little bit, so good. Let's move on to another picture, and this picture I really love is because I really like the theme that we had here. So I don't know if you guys can see, but this was inspired by a music video which is Lady Gaga and Beyonce, The Telephone. So if you can see in her hair she has cans from like Pepsi and Sprite. If anyone have seen, I'm sure that most of you guys seen the music video. Lady Gaga at some point has cans in her hair, so that was inspired by her. I like the editing overall. It looks okay. It has like a vintage style, so that looks quite cool. It actually suits her outfit. That works quite well. The only thing I would change is definitely the pose. I think like you can see her armpits, so I would actually maybe tell the model to like have her arm lower, or maybe just put it by the wall, or just make a different pose actually with the arms. Yeah, retouching again non-existent. Let's zoom in on her face. You can see that there is some marks on her forehead. There is some like maybe little pimples and stuff, so that definitely I would change now. That would not be on my pictures now. But yeah, I like this picture. I really love this photo shoot. Like I think I'm gonna redo this photo shoot. Like let me guys know, do you think I should redo this photo shoot? So if you would like to see this basically the same theme but in my 2021 style, let me know and I will do that. I will be more than happy to do that. So that's 2014 behind us. Let's move on to 2015. Also, I just wanted to say that obviously there's more pictures that I've taken in 2013, 2014, but I'm not going to show you them all because I think that will be just too long to do that. So yeah. Okay, so now we're moving on to 2015, and on the screen you can see one of my favorite pictures from that year. There isn't much that I wanted to criticize about this picture because I actually love everything. I love her arm placement. It just creates like a shape, so I like that. Maybe change her leg placement a little bit, but it's not a big issue in this picture. I think another problem that would be instead of her holding the glasses, I would have just taken it off her so her hands are free. But the biggest and annoying part of this picture is the hair strand that is just running across her face. So I still do this unfortunately, but a good tip that I can guys give you is when you take pictures, try to take 3 to 5 pictures, have a quick look through them, see if you can see any hair bands or like hair strands on the face of the model, or you know, anything that's just, you know, later on you might think, oh my god, why I didn't change this. Because now I take pictures like a maniac. I go to a photo shoot and in like 10-15 minutes I will already have about 100 pictures, and that's because sometimes I just don't stop. Like I would just tell the model to switch the pose or something like that, and then when I go home and open the pictures, I'm like, oh my god, the hair is in her face, and sometimes it's too hard to retouch, so I don't touch those photos. And you know, there's always something like, or her eyes are shut or something, and then like you love the pose, but there is always this one tiny bit that, you know, you can't actually use this picture because of something. So that's one tip that I actually need to address this year to myself, because like I said, I tend to just forget to check the photos every time, like every 3 to 5 pictures. And it's actually quite important because then you can see, you know, well, you can guys improve like the, you know, wow, on a photo shoot, because after that you go home and then what can you change? You can't change, and the pictures that you really liked you can't use, and it's depressing. So I really like the colors on this picture. I wouldn't change that at all. I think it works well in this picture. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Final picture, and in this picture there's 2 pictures as you can see. So let's talk about the first one, the one where the model is standing. Firstly, it's her pose. That's the bit that annoys me the most about this picture. Well, it doesn't annoy me, but that's the thing that I would change about this picture. It's her pose. So that's the main thing I would change. Like, I would tell her to stand differently. Definitely her arms, they just look out of place, just look like they just look odd. So definitely directing her to move her arms in a different way. And because her arms are like this, her shoulders look a bit tense, and I think her head is a bit too high, so her chin is a bit too high. I would tell her to lower it down a little bit, because this way now it looks her neck is like being pulled quite a lot. So that's what I would change. The colors, I like the colors on this picture, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. But definitely on this picture it's her posing. So let's look at the close-up picture. The close-up. Okay, so retouching again. There is no texture of her face at all. So definitely, if I was editing this picture right now, that's what I would be working on. Like, I would definitely use a different technique instead of what I did here, and I have no idea what. But I think what I did in this picture is I found this technique called airbrushing or something like this. So that's why her skin looks like it's airbrushed. Like, it's just like it has no texture, nothing. It just looks, I don't know, just doesn't look natural. Then you can see her nose. There's a little bit of like a pink reddish part, so would definitely change that. And also her hand is red, because these pictures were taken I think March or April, when it was still quite cold, so her hand got red, and definitely I would retouch that now so it matches with the rest of her skin. But other than that, the pose looks okay to me. I wouldn't change anything about this pose, I don't think. I like it, and I like the overall editing apart from the retouch. So, and obviously the pictures look sharp. So if we zoom in again on the face, we can see that the picture is actually sharp. So I did learn to focus more on the sharpness, and yeah, I think that's all. Okay, so I just wanted to add one thing. Looking at these pictures, it actually opens up your eyes so much. First of all, you see how far you have come, so it kind of motivates you to create even more, because I would love to now sit like this again in maybe 5 years time and look up pictures that I've taken in 2020, 2021, and then criticize them again and see if I have improved, and if so, in which way. And I would just love to see that. So yeah, I think it's so good to criticize your own work. I mean, maybe not criticize, but review your own work and see the mistakes you've made, or see the good things that like you used to do. Like, I feel like I used to take so much pictures before than I do now. I actually, from 2015, I've been taking less and less pictures, whereas in 2013 and 2014, like every weekend I would go out with my camera and take pictures. But that's mainly because of personal reasons, so I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, it's so important to go out and take pictures and review your own work. You can learn so much from your own mistakes, and yeah, you can improve on those mistakes just by reviewing them on your old pictures and just taking notes, basically. So that is it for me for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you really liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. It means so much to me. Thank you all. And if you have any questions or suggestions for the next video, please leave that down below in the comments. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!